dunk. And welcome back to another episode of the Baseline Bums podcast. It's your host, Rob, aka B Ball Archives. And once again, I got the bums in the house. It's me and AJ tonight, and we got some Spurs action to get into. It's the first Spurs loss of the 25-26 season. I know not the most fun news to get into, but it's Spurs news nonetheless, and we need to dive on in. But before we do that, I gotta get a little news from AJ. How you feeling this evening?
Dude, feeling good. Feeling good. Yesterday was tough to watch, but sometimes you need an ass kicking to show your flaws. And I'm glad that we kind of got that off our back a little bit. It just seems one of those just kind of gotcha games. And Dylan, Devin Booker is an all-star for a reason. He's one of the best players in the world right now, and he showed us why. And he stepped up to the challenge. And you can't knock him from that. Mark Williams looked like an all-star against Wemby. So I think the Heat unlocked something, and now they have a blueprint of kind of how to defend Wemby and how do you slow down the Spurs. And now we're going to see teams kind of build on that. So it's up to Wemby and Mitch to figure out how do we get Wemby easier touches and more touches. Because yesterday in the first half, he had like 5 shots, I think 6 at the most.
Yeah, I think
So
I think it was even less than that. I think it was only a couple of shots, I think, through the first 15 minutes of him playing. It was, you know, the Suns were doing a really good job of denying him the ball, running two defenders at him when he was at the top of the key and the free throw line extended.
yep.
Wherever he was, they ran two defenders at him, whether it was Mark Williams. They ran a lot of like him and Royce O'Neal double looks. Ryan Dunn helped out a lot as well on him.
R.I.P.
Um, um, but yeah, they I agree with you in the sense that they did showcase kind of how you have to play Wemby. You have to run two defenders at him. uh you have to be really physical with him whenever he gets the ball in his hands and before he even touches the ball. And the Suns showcased a lot of that, and that clearly frustrated Wemby. When you look at the fact that he was only 9 points, 9 rebounds, still got the 4 blocks, but he was 28% from the field, and that is unacceptable when we're talking about our superstar.
Dude, absolutely. I mean, it was just one of those games too, because you would, Wimby would get all the attention. We'd make the great pass. He would make a great pass, swing, swing, miss 3-pointer. And that's kind of what, like, that was the whole kind of thing. And the Suns came out hot. They couldn't miss. And that's kind of what happened. And we just got dug into a. And this is where we need De'Aaron Fox, because when the teams go on their runs of, let's say, you know, 6 points, 8 points, 10 points, you give the ball to De'Aaron Fox and say, hey, go make a bucket and let's end this run. We just didn't have that.
Right. I largely agree. I mean, not only do we need De'Aaron Fox for depth purposes, but also just closing out a game where the game is potentially within grasp. Do we have an all-star caliber veteran point guard that can go out there and get buckets? That guy is De'Aaron Fox on our roster. And not having him, especially after Dylan Harper goes down, we really felt that, uh because Jordan McLaughlin has to play more minutes. We have to
McLovin.
run right. Yeah, we have to run more sets, where Stephon Castle's having to do maybe a little bit too much.
Right.
Not
Right.
that he can't handle it, but he's having to do just a little bit too much. And so when I look at it from that perspective, yeah, we absolutely need De'Aaron Fox to come back sooner rather than later. And I think that this Dylan Harper injury is going to kind of sort of spearhead his return maybe a little bit sooner than expected, hopefully.
Jeremy and last podcast, but I think this game also called for Jeremy Sohan to just come in and kind of be a bruiser a little bit and just kind of take all the pressure off our guys so he gets the attention. I would assume that would be his role as an instigator. And maybe, that hard foul on Wimby where Stephon Castle and Mitch Johnson got teed, that those kinds of things I think Jeremy Sohan would help the game with. So as much as I have my criticism for him, you, James is absolutely right. There is a place for him, and yesterday would have been a great place for that.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. Especially whenever, and we were talking about this on a previous episode as well, whenever we're having to play Biombo so many big minutes. Like we are literally playing him first quarter minutes with regularity when Cornette isn't healthy, Olynyk isn't out there, and then obviously we're not able to insert Jeremy into the lineup.
Yep.
That's devastating for us
Yep.
because those non-Wemby minutes we're dropping like a tank, like in the sky from a defensive rating perspective.
It looked like last year and the year before, where we just sent out Zach Collins out there and we're like, go get him, champ. So now we're sitting here and like a guy like Luke Cornette, we've talked about in the offseason, he's the guy that we need healthy and on the court. He's just the consistent guy who's going to come in, do his job. He's going to grab you rebounds. He's going to be where he needs to be. He's still young enough where he has a quick step, definitely faster than Biombo. Bless that man. But he is not great down low with these young guards. Like once they get past, the defender on the perimeter and he's kind of left on an island, dude, it's not pretty. And he's serviceable for now, but we need our guys to be healthy because also that adds more to Wemby's plate, and he's starting to get in foul trouble a lot earlier now. And they're starting to really be in the chest of him, and he's really getting aggressive. So he's getting all these like little fouls. And I don't know if you've noticed this too. I want to get your thoughts. They kind of talked about this. They don't know how to actually ref Wemby at this point in time because you look at it and you're like, dude, he's getting hit. Like, why aren't they calling fouls? Or, if they're not doing this, or they called a foul on Wemby, but he got all ball. Like, they just don't know what they're seeing. And we're seeing that whenever he gets into early foul trouble.
I agree with that largely. I think that the refs are still figuring out, like, how do you call fouls for a big man that has an obvious physical advantage, but isn't strong like Shaq. It's, obviously you can ref a guy like Shaq because he's so physical in nature. Obviously he can absorb a lot of that contact, but Wemby can't. But yet he can still get over the top of everyone, but yet you need to call fouls on him like you would a guard because of his body size and his skill set and how much he's on the perimeter. And so
Yeah.
I think, yeah, largely you are right. Refs are kind of still figuring that out as Wemby progresses. And, you see him bringing the ball up with regularity. It's like, dude, if he gets nudged 50 feet out from the basket when he's doing a behind the back, it's like, that's something a ref has really never seen before.
But also it happened twice yesterday. One was on Devin Booker, where he was in the post and he was running at him, put his arm out. He ran right into his arm. He sold that foul, and they called an offensive foul on Wemby. And it's like, that's just where his arm is. Right. And then the same thing happened. I think it might've been Mark Williams. Same thing in the post when he pivoted and like threw his elbow up and he sold that foul. And it's like, he didn't even touch him. So like, you have to kind of see where Wemby is. Like, okay, I'm not going to compare myself to Wemby because I'm not 7.5 feet tall, but I'm 5.5 feet tall. So I kind of get like, how that is. Cause a lot of my friends, like your height, I get elbows every once in a while, not because you intend to, it's just because I'm a short ass dude. So like, I get it, but I think the refs are just not short enough to understand really how to ref Wemby. That's my final thought.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you are a foot shorter than somebody, your elbow is going to be right in their face whenever they have their arms up and they're establishing position. That's just what's going to happen. And and I agree. Yeah, especially that Devin Booker play. Like he just ran right into Wemby's arm. Wemby didn't initiate any contact or swing his arm, and it really looked like a nothing play, and it
Yeah.
looked like, like the ref should have just viewed that as nothing. But of course it was Wemby. He's a superstar, but so is Devin Booker, superstar on superstar right there. So
Yeah, and
um,
dude, hats off to Devin Booker, man. He showed us why he's a top player in the NBA. In case you forgot, and think he definitely circled this game. He knew there was gonna be a lot of eyeballs on it, and he balled out. He torched us, and I mean, I wasn't expecting Royce O'Neal to go off either. So let's kind of pump the brakes on the help he got, but Devin Booker absolutely cooked us, and I think, at next time Steph Castle sees him, I think that's going to be a circle game moment, and I think he's going to get him back. So, watch out when the Suns come to San Antonio.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't view it as the Suns really beating us, even though they did shoot 58% from beyond the arc. And anytime you do that, you're probably going to win a basketball game. But I really view it as we kind of beat ourselves, and uh, us losing Dylan Harper halfway through the game when so much of our bench unit relies on his explosiveness and his downhill attacking.
Yeah.
It really did kind of throw us off a little bit, because
Yep.
just having, like I said earlier, just playing Jordan McLaughlin more minutes and kind of having to rely on him more in that second unit is not a great long-term look.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reality of it. Hopefully, we get some news here in the next day or two about some guys coming back, because I would love to see this team at full strength. I want to see kind of what we have, but we're probably not going to get that until Christmas. So maybe our Christmas gift is going to be Dylan Harper coming back. Would be my guess. Probably at the earliest. We'll see how long this cap strain goes, or how long we even hold him out, because we've seen it, time and time again. Cap strains lead to something else. I don't want to say it, but we all know what it is. So we don't want that to happen to our guys. So if we need to pause until the rodeo road break, then so be it.
Right. I think my head is exactly where yours is, and we need to slow play this, and that's probably what the Spurs are going to do. Shams reported that he's going to miss multiple weeks, and I think that's very likely. Anytime you hear calf strains, it's usually at least a month. I couldn't see him coming back anytime before early mid December. I think, Christmas is a very likely timetable, and he would have plenty of time to get back to speed, back acclimated,
Yeah.
in time for a promising playoff push.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, here's the good thing about having too many guards. When one goes down, we have just enough guards. So we'll see kind of what happens and see if we make any moves. Devin shot the ball. He shot okay. That first half, I felt like he was forcing it a lot, and Devin's the guy that doesn't pass the ball to Wimby. And I don't know if he just has a green light all the time and he wants to shoot it, but there's been a few times Wimby's been open, and I'm like, dude, give him the ball. And it would be a shot fade away off the back, you know, rebound them other way now. So, just I think there are times when this offense stalls out, and we've seen it in the third quarter. Time we saw in the first quarter, can't come back from that.
Yeah, I am in full agreement. Yeah, there's multiple times I've looked at what Devin Vassell is doing, and he is kind of giving the appearance like he wants to be an offensive engine. And I'm like, dude, that's not really your role within our team. I was like, it's Wemby, it's Castle, it's Harper, and then and then if Fox is healthy, it's Fox,
Yeah.
and then then you're the offensive engine after those guys.
Yeah.
But to me, I think that there hasn't really been enough games this season at his new role for him to really be fully acclimated. I
Yeah.
still feel like he needs Wemby just kind of sitting him down, putting him in his place, and just saying, "Hey, dude, you know, get in the corner and be ready to catch the ball because they're going to close out on me really fast. I may
Yeah.
have 3 defenders on me at some point. You're going to be open. Get ready to catch and hit it."
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, we just didn't shoot the ball well too. So we missed a lot of bunnies. We missed a lot of like inside the paint layups and things like that. Those little small middies that Wimby has been making, he was missing them. We just couldn't get into a rhythm. Really, that's what it came down to. And every time we try to get into a rhythm, they hit a 3-pointer. Just sometimes it's just not your night, man. It's the NBA. Anything can happen. These guys get paid to play basketball too. But, I think that's good for a young team, especially one that got off to a 5-0 start. And then to get absolutely spanked on, a game that you probably should have won. And now you have 2 days to kind of sulk in it. And now you have the Lakers on Wednesday, and it's going to be on ESPN. It's going to be one of the few games you're able to see pretty easily. So it's going to be a lot of eyeballs for sure. And, I think this young team, hopefully we get our guys back. And if we do, I think we absolutely destroy the Lakers. But I do want to see Steph Castle and Luka go one-on-one. That's going to be fun.
Absolutely. And one thing I saw tonight is both Luca and Reeves are going to be sitting tonight, so they should be very fresh for the game against the Spurs on Wednesday, which I'm very excited for. I'm also equally excited for the post-game episode with you, me, Mike, and Rudy.
Yes.
I'm very, very pumped to hop on and talk about the Spurs and talk about the season, Wemby, everything. But mainly, we're going to be talking about all of the interesting drama that happens Wednesday when San Antonio plays the Lakers. So yeah, I'm very
Boo.
excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say this. I was watching the League Pass feed with the Phoenix Suns, and man, dude, like San Antonio has some competition because they had the Dia de los Muertos, I guess, night, and it looked like a lot of fun. And I definitely think San Antonio might have some competition, but obviously San Antonio's actually I'll say this. Their dance squad like is terrible. Our hype squad's way better than their dance squad. Like if they were on You Got Served, ours would win in a heartbeat. Like it wouldn't even be close. So I'm just happy about this team going to LA and hopefully showing out. We need to show out. I think we have to show out to kind of just put the league back on notice. Like, hey, Wemby is here, and I don't think who's going to defend Wemby from the Lakers. Jackson Hayes.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking they're hoping DeAndre Ayton can be a
Stop.
a big athletic
He's
body.
not. He doesn't give a shit to defend Wemby. He's gonna be like, nah. Like, you really think he's gonna do anything?
Well, either way, it's going to be a statement game. It's going to
Yeah.
be a big game because not only, like you were saying, it's one of those national games on ESPN, everyone's going to have access to this game, but it's also, I know it's early in the season, but Spurs are second in the West and the Lakers are third in the West. So you got the second place team and the
Yep.
third place team going head to head. So it will
But
be exciting.
And like we talked about in the offseason, these are the kind of games that you need to win or you should win if you want to become a playoff team. So we're getting set up to that point, and you get this one, then that's another win from the West under your belt. And that's also with the Lakers too. So it comes down to a tie, you have a win already. So like these are the games that we really need to start winning or looking to win. But obviously the one we lost yesterday was one I think we should have like we'd want to take back. But again, just we got to bring it every night. Like I said, these players get play basketball too, so got to get ready. And especially someone like Devin Booker is one of the biggest contracts in the NBA. There's a reason he has one of the biggest contracts in the NBA. So But bring on the Lakers. Move on. Next game.
Yeah.
Goldfish. Goldfish.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly how you have to handle those tough wins, especially when you're playing a team that doesn't have as much talent as you. You know that you should have won, and if Devin Vassell doesn't go 2 for 9, and gosh dang it, I'm just now seeing Jordan McLaughlin went 1 for 7.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's like
Yeah.
I hated all of those threes he was just missing. I was like, that's why you're in the game, is to be that offensive connective piece that can hit those occasional threes, especially when we need you to step up and play minutes um when Dylan Harper goes down, which is it's just, it's not very encouraging.
You know who we need?
Who do we need?
Austin Reeves.
Dude, try to get Austin Reeves after his recent terror of games. Man,
I mean,
he's
I,
yeah.
I think he's a free agent this offseason. So I mean, like if the Spurs are serious about getting serious, that's a serious signing if you want to really get down into it here in the offseason. But
Well, what was so crazy is on a previous episode, and James had mentioned Austin Reeves being most improved player from last year. And I laughed at him. I was like, dude, Austin Reeves scored 20 points a game last year. Where do you want him to go from here? And he's literally 32 points a game right now. And my jaw is on the ground because I'm sitting here like, dude, he literally could be the most improved player based on what he's doing. And it's not like he's playing a ton more minutes. He's playing around the same minutes per game. His usage has just gone up, and
it's
he's really grasped the opportunity well.
dude, that's what it's the patented Luca compliment, right? Like just someone who's just a knockdown shooter that Luca's going to draw the attention. You just kick it out to him and he can create his own shot from there. Like that is exactly who Luca needs to be playing next to. And I thought they had it with Jalen Brunson, and then they let him go to New York. Also, might be another conversation Pablo Torre wants to look into, but that's another podcast. So I think that's what you're seeing now, and I wonder how LeBron James is going to come in. I mean, he's LeBron James; he's going to figure it out. But I hope he continues to play the same way and just continue to give Reeves the ball because, yeah, dude, that dude's really good at playing ball, man. He's really good.
Oh
We got to
yeah.
keep him in check on Wednesday. Have to.
Right. And that's where I would like Dylan Harper, because he
Yeah.
just he just gives us another big body guard defender that's quick on his feet and that can kind of frustrate a guy like Austin Reeves. So we will be missing him a little bit. Uh but at the end of the day, we have to move on.
Yeah.
We can't be wishing for the players that are on the injured list. We have to go with the guys that we have. And, um, but looking back on yesterday's game, I just wanted to kind of touch on a couple of more things just before we move on.
Yeah.
Um, dude, I've just been really loving Keldon Johnson.
Thank you. We were here with it. I wanted to bring him up too. We were here with it. We have
okay,
the ESPN. We're good.
okay. I was like, we can't just move
No,
on from yesterday.
he's been just like the best. He's the epitome of what a Spur is. Like he's just that guy. Just comes in. He knows his role. He's going to do what he can. He's out there giving his body up every night, and like that is what I want to see in my vet. Like Keldon's one of the oldest guys now on the team, and it's like seeing him take that role and just understanding like this is my role. I'm going to do the best I can, but I can still impact the game by scoring or just being aggressive. And that dunk he had yesterday, man, like if he would have gotten that in the first half, I think that would have sparked the team. I think that would have got us going. But it happened in the second half, and just like a little too late.
Yeah,
But if that
yeah.
happened in the first half, I think that would have been one of those momentum shifters. But hats off to Keldon. He's been great.
Yes, I agree with everything that you just said. He comes in off the bench, plays with aggressiveness. He has like a certain baseline level of aggression that just encourages everyone else around him to kind of just step it up a notch and take shit a little bit more seriously, if you will.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
see that when he plays 24 minutes last night, scores a really efficient 19 points on
Yep.
8 of 14 from the field. That's exactly what you want to see out of one of your bench guys. And it's a shame that it didn't lead to a win. But ultimately, there's a lot of games where we will need this kind of production out of Keldon.
Dude, absolutely. I do have a critique on Keldon Johnson though. Like, can you stop screaming when you go to the basket? It's borderline tennis like levels. Like every time he goes to the
Ah!
basket, oh yeah, like ah. So I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, just take it strong. And like, they'll call the foul. Like, you don't have to like scream it. It's okay. But that's just who he is. And is always know where he's at because he's the one screaming.
But as somebody that often did scream at the basket, around the basket, sometimes you just can't help it. You're just so hype, you're getting fouled, and also you want to sell it a little bit. I mean, you can be a little theatrical, but you're
Yeah.
right. Maybe don't scream every time.
My wife just texted me and said, "You good?"
She's like, well, what? Why are you moaning in there?
Oh man, that's funny. So yeah, dude, but I love the way he's been playing. He's been hitting shots and taking it strong, and I love that he's looking for contact, and he's not afraid of anybody, and he's going to get the team hype, and we need a guy like that. Like that's our spark plug. So I think the pieces are here. We just need some upgrades here and there to really
Hold on, I think you might be frozen again, my friend. But I agree, he's just helping the refs do their job. What's up, my dude, Round Ball? What's going on, my friend? How are you doing? Ultimately, yeah, we are here talking about the first Spurs loss of the season. Unfortunate news, but there is some silver linings, even though Dylan Harper only played 11 minutes and got hurt. Still a great game from Stephon Castle. And we haven't even brought up Stephon Castle yet. We're 25 minutes into a game where right after a game where Stephon Castle drops 26, I think it was 7 and 5. I mean, he did have 5 fouls. That was a consistent issue. But at the end of the day, I like to see the defensive aggressiveness out of him. If I'm going to see him do anything, I'm going to see him get those fouls.
So
But
I guess if you
but
scream, you get kicked off.
well, I guess so. Um, but yeah, I think that we were talking a lot about the game yesterday, and we didn't even talk about the guy that actually played well. We didn't talk about Stephon Castle nearly
Oh,
enough.
phenomenal. Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, he went 10 from 16 and literally was showing a master class of how to get to the basket at your own pace, you know, really knifing his way through the defense and creating easy opportunities. I mean, his game is it's going to translate to everything we want.
Just butter, man. Just butter.
Yeah, I'm glad that you bought in early on that stock because that stock is going to rise, my friend. That's a smart purchase.
Yeah, dude. The way he's just so effortless and he just kind of glides through the paint is pretty insane.
Absolutely. Yeah, I enjoy watching him play, and there was one play specifically where he just knew that he had to step on everybody and just had a couple of small hands hit him, and then he was just like, nope, I'm still gonna finish at the rim, two hands with authority, and that's exactly what you want to see from your young guard, especially after Dylan goes down. It's like, he kind of feels more of that weight. No Fox, no Harper. I have to step up even more.
Yeah. Well, especially after you get robbed from the dunk contest. Like, I want to see him come back this year and be like, hey, motherfuckers, watch this, and even show out more. So, like, I think I don't know if he's that kind of guy, but I'd love it if he is. And I would love for him to kind of redeem himself because he should have won the dunk contest. I don't even know who won. Who won? Who won the dunk contest? I don't
It
remember.
was it was Mac McClung, and you know this.
Oh, he's actually playing well for the Pacers right now, dude.
Yes,
Dude, he's hooping.
I'm glad to see him actually get an NBA contract and to see him showcase his skill because he's a good player. He's more than just a dunker. Is he like a skilled dunker and he knows the art of dunking? Yes, of course he does.
Like
But
us.
right, exactly. He has elevation and verticality just like you and me. We're practically the same athlete. But yes, I'm glad that he's getting his chance in Indiana. But that doesn't make your point any less valid. Steph Castle deserved to win that dunk contest. But I feel he shows the aggressiveness every time he goes to the rim, and each time he finishes, it's kind of like it kind of reminds you that he's more of an in-game dunker, and he can do he can do the same game. He can do the same dunk in a game that he can do at a dunk contest,
I
if that
don't
makes
think
sense.
he'd probably get a technical if he laid it up and then put it between his legs after he made the layup.
That'd be disrespectful.
Would you want to see Wimby in a dunk contest?
I don't know. I don't know if that would be interesting or if that would be kind of boring. I mean, I think at a certain degree, I would be interested in it, but I don't know if it would lead to an actual like a good product.
What if he was like, I'm only dunking on 12 feet goals or whatever?
Well, then fuck yeah, I want to see it. Yeah. Any human being that's dunking on 12 feet, I want to see it. Even if it's Wemby. Yeah, I want to see it. That would be wild. I think that would be definitely a really cool gimmick, some all-star weekend fun stuff that you could incorporate. In-game dunks are a lot cooler than dunk contest dunks, in your opinion.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because you're not expecting them, and all of a sudden it happens. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Even if it happens on your own player too. I've been in the room when some people got the best of Timmy, and it's like, oof, yep, there it is.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was there when Braun posterized him, and it was like, oh no,
Yeah,
oh no.
but
But
also it was but another great in-game dunk, like Manu dunking on the Heat. Like that was an amazing in-game dunk. Like that was so good. Like because then that like kind of sparked it, and that was the end of it. That was 2014, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, because it was already over, and we just like in Manu at his age going down the lane and just yamming on everybody. Yeah, I would. I mean, it depends on what they're doing. Like, so I do enjoy the some of the gimmicky stuff if it's done properly. But if it's not, then I'm not here for it.
Yeah, that's very true. But there's just something so organic about a good in-game dunk that just feels like the stars have to align for that to happen. I love I think my favorite in-game dunk, shout out to Darvin Ham, the
Yeah,
1995 Texas Tech, or when he played for Texas Tech, the 1995 March Madness, that putback dunk against North Carolina where he yammed on Anton
dude,
Jameson
dude.
and broke the
Oof.
glass, broke the backboard. That
That picture is one of the most badass pictures of like all time, like just in general, not just like it's like, oh, it's a cool picture. Like it's a badass the way it's naturally the glass is coming down in his face, and dude, that was fun.
Yeah, that will that those pictures, that video, I see that going through my head on a daily basis, just like Round Ball sees Braun dunking on Jason Terry. But see, like you view that as a negative thing, and I actually view that as a positive thing because man, I just view Jason Terry as such a Mav, and I just can't stand him. I just can't stand Jason Terry. So I'm pro anybody dunking on him. Uh
Dude,
but
honestly, I remember being a kid and like one of the best dunkers were like Darius Miles, but he played for the Clippers, and you're like, I'm not watching a fucking Clipper game because they're terrible. And then he'll come out with a highlight, and you're like, all right, thank God for ESPN. Back when it was cool. Now, nah, different
bro,
story.
dude, you know who was the best dunker back in the day? Was fucking Stromile
Swift,
Swift.
oh my God,
Bro,
he had some bunnies.
he would catch the ball from like 10 feet out, take one power dribble, and then two-hand windmill on somebody's head, and you're just like, Stromile, what are you doing? It's like there's people here. We're in the middle of a game, and you're just doing like a dunk contest style dunk on like a NBA level big, like on a rim protector. You're just like, fuck it, we're just gonna square, square, triangle. It's like boom. It's like it's just try to yam on him.
Dude,
Crazy.
yeah, no, man, we're really happy. I was really glad that we were able to see some cool dunkers, and I mean, but I think the best in game dunker by far. We can argue all you want, but Blake Griffin, I think, is the best in game dunker of all time, because the things he was doing and the verticality that he got, and every time it was just Chris Paul dime or just him coming off like a pick and just getting that step. And man, he would get to the top of the box and just come down on everybody. And damn, dude, like it was fun to watch him play basketball for a while. It's very disappointing that team never did anything. That's because the Spurs were around, but it's they should have done more. In all honesty, they just came up against a lot more disciplined team. If that team was around just 10 years later, they probably would have swept the entire West.
Right. Well, and part of it does come down to coaching. Like whenever you are in a tough playoff series and someone is, literally playing chess with you, you need to be able to make those moves back. And I just really don't think Doc Rivers has really ever been a coach that's going to make competent moves like a chess coach would.
Yeah, that's fair.
Blake Griffin, the NBA on Prime studio analyst. Yes, that Blake Griffin.
The great Detroit Piston Blake Griffin.
Dude, he was nice for Detroit. He was
Oh, he
a
was. It
legend.
just it's just disappointing. He had just so many injuries, and once you lose your balance, that's it. But he still played for the Celtics, so shout out to Roundball on that one.
But he also
But yeah,
played
man.
for Oklahoma, so fuck him. No, I'm just
Yeah, that's
kidding.
true. Rob, I have something for you, and it's something that I kind of cooked up last second. But I do have a blind ranking for you. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it. I have no idea what this is, but I guess that's the entire point of a blind ranking.
So, blind rank these 5 all-stars in a Spurs uniform. And
Okay.
once I say the first one, I think you're going to understand where this is going. You ready?
Okay, I'll start in a Spurs uniform. Okay.
Dominique Wilkins.
Oh, okay. 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 I'm probably gonna go 5 on this one because Neek was bullshit for us. He
No,
didn't
I'm
really.
saying like in we're gonna say in their prime,
Oh, okay. So just
in their prime. Like
oh,
so we'll go in their prime.
okay, okay, okay. So what they are in their prime? Okay, dang, Neek in his prime is nice as hell. I might go Neek. Let's go Neek at 3.
It's a good number.
Let's go
Michael
Neek at
Finley,
3. I'm gonna go Finley at 4.
Paul Gasol,
I'm gonna go Paul Gasol at 2.
Tracy McGrady,
I'm gonna go T Mac at 1.
Rudy Gay.
I'm gonna go Rudy Gay at 5.
There you go. That's it right there.
I like it. I like that ranking right there. I don't hate that one bit. I mean, I think if I was to see those players and know how to rank them, I think that's maybe how I would rank them outright to begin with. Yeah, I feel solid about that. I was originally thinking maybe I would have Pau Gasol and Neek switched, but I think what Pau Gasol brought to the table in terms of like his ability to be a, a ceiling raiser. I think that he was
Yeah.
able to not only go to a bad team and make that bad team pretty decent, but he could go to a good team and make that good team great because he just knew how to fit in and knew how to do all these little things. So I think, yeah, I think that makes sense to have Powell. But yeah, that's a good blind ranking right there. I like that, and I think that we should incorporate more blind rankings into more of the episodes, and it would be fun to do some of those with James and Adam when if we can get them on an episode sometime
No,
soon.
it's cool. No, I do. They're fun. I got a couple other ones. We can even do a start bench cut kind of thing too. So that would be fun. I mean, there's plenty of fun improv games, and because we're just so good at improv over here. Fucking Wayne Brady and the other guys. You,
Right.
since you're tall, does that make you Ryan Stiles?
I guess so. I guess so. I guess we're whose line it is it anyway at that point, which is a badass show. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, we
That's
still watch it. I'm
un,
not ashamed to say that.
underrated classic.
Yep. So
But
yeah.
you know what is also classic is saving money, and you can save money with the Solar Scouts. SolarScouts.com/bums. Go check out the Solar Scouts at this link right here. They're gonna hook you up with a free consultation, help you figure out how to get a clean, reliable solar plan for you and your fam. So that's the SolarScouts.com/bums. Hit them up. Good people, good company, good product. They're doing good shit over there. Tell them the bums sent you. Absolutely, my friend. But yeah, should we dive on into some dunks? How are you feeling? You feeling dunky?
Yeah, I would say I feel a little dunky. Who? Why don't you go first, Rob? Because I got a
Okay.
couple people in mind.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna keep it nice and simple. I'm gonna dunk on Halloween.
Ooh,
Um
ooh.
because I
Go on.
remembered it being a more of like a community kind of holiday where like it's kids running around on the sidewalks. You see bikes in the street because all the kids are out and about and stuff like that. And the couple of neighborhoods I went to with my niece and nephew, they it's all the kids are like literally driving around in cars, and then they're like letting the kids out, and then they're going to the houses, and
Oh, because they don't live in that neighborhood.
I'm like, what is going on here? Everyone's just driving around in cars now. We're not like, and it felt like the whole energy was zapped from the holiday, and I was like, "This is weird. I just wanna walk around and, kinda just wander the street," and, it made me feel just like a super old head, but I was like, "This doesn't feel like Halloween," so I'm just dunking on Halloween, man. It felt
Yeah.
weird this year.
Amen.
Yeah,
We're that couple, because we're dinks. We put out a sign with candy and said like don't my wife wrote this, said like don't be wicked, just take one or whatever. And we just put a bowl of candy outside because a couple things. One, our dog is not going to be cool with the doorbell and knocking and all that stuff. That's not going to happen. And then also, like, I'm not a huge Halloween person. Wish I was, but I can spend my money on other things besides a costume. And I'm only going to wear that costume like once or twice. So, it is what it is. Don't get me wrong. I have done it before, but I just, it's not my holiday. My holiday is more around Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. New Year's is a good one for me. I really enjoy New Year's. And then obviously Cinco de Mayo. Oh, and Fiesta. Fiesta is my favorite holiday. That's what it is.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, there's so many good holidays to love, like, you can't resonate with every single holiday. But, who you dunking on this week,
All right.
AJ?
I was like, I knew I had one in my head. I just had to find it. Dude, all right. I don't know who this person is, but they do exist in the world. And I really just, I want to dunk on them so hard. The people who are at the gym and don't rack their weights in the right spot, throwing everything off. And now everyone's just mayhem on the rack. You you can get dunked on to hell and back, dude. There's a special place in hell for those people because I despise that person, and that happened to
I believe I believe you are frozen again, my friend. But I agree wholeheartedly with your dunk. People that do not re-rack their weights properly are terrible human beings and should be dunked on endlessly. Endlessly, they should be dunked on, especially if you see, hey, this is where the 25s go, and you put a 10, and then someone else puts a 45 plate on. That's just socially irresponsible. Like, what are you even doing? Like, you shouldn't be at the gym if you're like, hey, this is where the 35s are. And then you just go ahead and put like a 5 pound weight. Like, you are inconveniencing the next person up. That's the equivalent of like not putting your shopping cart back and just like throwing it to the side and acting like that's not going to inconvenience the hell out of the next person. Like, you're just being a shit person at that point. But AJ, go ahead and continue your
and
dunk.
and while we're at it, dunk on Riverside. That's not an internet thing on me. That is a Riverside server thing. That's what popped up on this feed. So we'll be looking at a new potential platinum platform here pretty soon. Just
Absolutely.
because this
Yeah,
is
I
ridiculous.
I would love to because they've had multiple inconsistencies. Would definitely would definitely love to explore some different options. But yeah, definitely worthwhile dunk and fuck people that can't re-rack their weights.
It's
And
ridiculous. What are we doing?
a little lore drop, my great great grandmother is from Mexico, so we've always had Hispanic traditions in my family. I still celebrate Dia de los Muertos, even though none of my other gringo family does. LOL. Dude, that's brilliant. I mean, I think that, you know, that hits home with me and AJ a lot. Obviously, AJ and I have a lot of Hispanic influences in our family.
Yeah,
And
dude.
so
I had mariachis at my wedding.
absolutely you did. I I should have had some mariachis at my wedding. That's
I will say I wanted to get the coyote for your wedding. Um,
that would
I
have been
just
sick.
I just didn't know how to make it happen, and also didn't want to like step on anyone's toes or anything like that. Specifically your wife. Just like if you had like a specific plan, I was like, I don't want to do it, but I think it would have been interesting to see the coyote roll up, and everyone was like, "Whoa!"
I
We
would have
should have done it.
totally, dude. I mean, maybe like even have them at like the after pool party, just like just something like that. But I mean,
That pool was cold, man.
it was.
My
I wish it
my
was
nips could
warmer.
cut diamonds, dog. Like it was, oof, it was cold. It was cold, cold, cold. But
It
anyway, it was a
was
great time.
absolutely, my friend. But if you're still here after those dunks, if you're still here enjoying the podcast, we appreciate you. We love you. We not only love you, but we love you hard over
Hard.
here. Hard. And that being said, we will be going live after the Spurs Lakers game on Wednesday with all of the guys from Love You Hard TV, all the guys from In the Building. That's Mike and Rudy. We might are we gonna get a little bookie on
I don't
episode
know.
2?
Maybe we'll see. We'll see. If we do, we're gonna have to get Adam on too, because I would love to see them go toe to toe. That would be fun. We should get them in a room and just say like "go" and see how it goes. That would be fun. Oh my god, we should make that happen. That'd be so much
Gosh,
fun to watch. That's
that
must see TV right there, dog.
that would be brilliant. But either way, we're going live Wednesday after the Spurs Lakers game, and that should be a blast because San Antonio's 2 in the West, Lakers are 3rd in the West. Should be a good matchup. But either way, however that shakes out, you're gonna see us live after that game.
But before
Um,
that, make sure you go vote tomorrow if you haven't done it yet. Voting for Project Marvel is super important. Prop A and B, I think, is a great way to really push the city forward. I personally see, I live in those spaces. I've been downtown. To see something downtown would be absolutely amazing. And then also, like, just do your research. Even if you vote no, just do your research. That's fine. Go out and vote. Like the best thing about our country is that we can go vote and influence the things, especially the things that are locally around us. My whole thing, and I hope we can all agree on this, is once the election's over and the results are in, let's go back to being Spurs fans. Let's go back to being friends. Let's go back to being acquaintances. Let's go back to high fiving. There's no need for us to be on different teams over something like this. So let's after this whole election, we get the results, we accept them for what they are. Let's move on and let's enjoy what we have, whether that's in the east side or they start building downtown in a year. Regardless, we're still San Antonians and we're still Spurs fans. So let's go out and do it. That being said, Rob, what I would absolutely hate to happen is the Spurs not get it passed and not leaving the city to Vegas or Seattle or wherever you want to name a city here. It's if we end up in like New Braunfels or San Marcos or somewhere outside of Bear County, and that city or that area builds some kind of Arlington type area where they can just build like a Texas Live and all this other stuff around a stadium. And now all that's benefiting the neighbors while we're still able to go see the Spurs because it's kind of the same distance, maybe a little further. And like that would be terrible for San Antonio because you're not benefiting any of that. Let's put that downtown and we all benefit from it and we keep it local. So just there's a third option. I think for me, that's the worst case scenario. I could be wrong, but for me, that's terrifying for me.
well, I think that's the worst case scenario for San Antonio, but that may end up being the best case scenario financially,
Yeah.
just so that you can appease, potentially new billionaire financiers from Austin
Yeah.
while simultaneously
You can still be the San
appeasing.
Antonio Spurs.
Right. You could appease the people from San Antonio and still have the same flagship and wave that banner. So yeah, I think there's a lot of upside there, but ultimately I'm in agreement with you. Yeah, there's just there's too much local connection that San Antonio has done, just community building over the last 50 years that makes them a staple in the local community. When you look at San Antonio, you think of the Spurs. So when when you're going to vote, if you've already early voted, great, that's fantastic. If you haven't, make sure you do that, and go out there and vote yes for Prop A and B, because it's serious stuff, and we're talking about the growth of San Antonio,
Yep.
a place where AJ and I both grew up and spent significant chunks of time, and so this is serious stuff to us.
And if you're not in San Antonio, but you're still in Texas, still go out and vote. For me, something that hits home, and I think hits home for a lot of people, is Proposition 14. It's the $3 billion research grant for dementia. I think that should be a slam dunk personally, just because I've been affected by dementia. I think a lot of people have. So while you're at the polls, just go ahead and vote that one too, just to kind of make it worth your while and your civic duties are checked.
Absolutely. That's a good shout out as well, my friend. But yeah, that's feeling like a really good episode. And yeah, you guys will see us back again in a couple days on the post game episode on Wednesday, so it won't be too long. But yeah, I think we should end this episode the same way we end all episodes, and that's with a go,
Go
a Spurs,
Spurs,
a go.
go.
Bum, 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 bum.